The numbers are back on the rise, as I mentioned before. And honestly, guys, it's more important than ever to keep your family safe. So make smart choices. Now, here's the big question is when is the proper time to get tested if you think you may be getting sick with anything, whether that be COVID or the common flu? Well, Mary O'Connell has more.
It feels like deja vu. COVID cases on the rise across the country and in Florida.
Once we were back in March of 2020, we all talked about flattening the curve and trying to protect the medical system. And I think we're back again in a similar situation right now.
Still, an important factor to help slow the spread of the virus? Testing. USF Health's Dr. Thomas Unash explains we need to work together to try and limit transmission and prevent overloading the healthcare system.
Even including the vaccinated people. If you are feeling a little bit under the weather, even if it's just what you think summer allergies or a case of the sniffles, to really go get yourself tested because you may have COVID and you may be able to pass it on to others.
The CDC says you should get tested if you have COVID symptoms. You should also get tested if you've had a known exposure to someone with suspected or confirmed COVID-19. The CDC says people who are fully vaccinated should get tested 3 to 5 days after exposure and wear a mask in public indoor settings for 14 days or until they get a negative test result. And for people who aren't fully vaccinated, the CDC says you should quarantine and test immediately after being identified. And if negative, test it again in 5 to 7 days after last exposure or immediately if you develop symptoms during quarantine.
It's no different for them than it was back in last summer, the summer of 2020. If you're not vaccinated, you are really susceptible to getting this infection.
The CDC says people who have tested positive for COVID within the past 3 months and recovered do not need to get tested after being exposed, as long as they don't develop new symptoms. Health experts continue to urge people to mask up and get vaccinated too, all an effort to put the pandemic behind us.